Hello, this is Matthew from Empty Sheet, and today we'll be discussing about the Forever a Wedding Masterpiece Excel to help guide you on how to use this file. Now, to start off, as you can see, this view only, so you can't edit. You can edit any file. So, to start, we'll have to make a copy of it so we can edit. So, access, refresh the page. Okay, so here, as you can see, you can now edit it. Alright, so here we'll start with the readme tab, the first tab, which basically just says the general instructions. So the purpose of the spreadsheet, then the white cells where this is the only place you should type. As a colored and shaded cells are basically the ones that have formulas, and if the formula breaks and you type in it, it might cause the charts and other data to break. So it's best to just type in the white cells. And then we have some other important warnings where never cut and paste the cell, do not move the cell, just use Control C in your keyboard, Control plus C to copy, Control plus V to paste. So again, do not edit colored shaded cells, and then the sheets are protected so that the data and the ranges do not break. Yes, so that you can use the Excel sheet properly and that you won't have any headache. So to start, let's head on over to the Wedding Vision tab. So this tab is mainly focused in directing your vision for your own wedding. So here you could see in the left, this basically just the tab in the bottom. So you can click here in the bottom. You can also click here in the sides to go over the tabs quickly. So it's just for your convenience. Now to start in the Wedding Vision, we have 4 blocks here for your inspiration. So this is to help you in brainstorming on your idea. So let's add some samples. So here you input the images that will help give you an idea. So it's entirely up to you what you want to add here. So it is very important that you focus on brainstorming on the direction you want for your wedding, so that you won't have any trouble later changing your mind. So here we just have a couple of examples. So you add here the themes that you like, your wedding gown, your venue, and stuff like that. Entirely up to you. And maybe some accessories like some umbrellas here. Okay, so here you input the palette that you want. So the color, you can put teal or teal and gold, or just one color or 3 colors, depends on you. So theme setting, do you want it to feel romantic, joyful, mystical? And here you can also put a hashtag or tagline that you want, and then what is it inspired by? You want fairy tale, you want magic, you want anything that your heart desires, basically. Then the color mood board, you also insert a photo here. So what colors do you want for your wedding? Do you want it blue, bluish, pinkish, and stuff like that? So just insert it here. So now we head on to the setup page. So in the setup page, you can see basically what you inputted in the Wedding Vision earlier. Just summarizes it. So it says here, you're going for a romantic, joyful, and mystical wedding inspired by a fairy tale with teal and gold tones, and a vibe that says forever with you 2025. So sometimes your suppliers would ask, or actually most of the time they'll ask about your wedding motif, and it gives them an idea on how to help design your wedding for you. So you can just tell them about this. So now here in the setup page, this is very important actually. So to set up your whole Excel file, so you have to put your names, the date, and then the location. So it's best to input that at the start. If you can't yet, you can just leave it blank, but eventually you'll have to put it. So here you put your currency, then guest tag and labels. We already have a couple of examples here: the bride family, friends and work, and also for groomsmen, bridesmaid, and then accommodation where you'll stay for your wedding night or days before your wedding if you want. Then we have entourage roles here. We have some samples, and then we have contributors like godfather, godmother, entirely up to you. So here you can see on the right, here's an example save the date printable. So if for example type in here, it's going to change the other side, so you can see it immediately. So we have actually other samples here that you can print. Here we have 3, so depending on what you want, those are all gonna change also. So this is how you print it. Here. Just to give you an idea, so earlier we selected some cells. You click that, page size, orientation. We recommend to do fit to page, and then that's it. You can move over and print it. And then this also shows up when you're editing. It's to protect the cell and remind you to not break anything. So just click on over this if you want to edit. Okay, so next page is the dashboard. Here you could quickly see all the data in your whole Excel. So initially you won't see anything here at the start, but eventually you will. Just a quick glance of your data. So there's days before your wedding, total guests, number, percentage of spending, overdue task, then the wedding budget, spent, balance, and then a tip to keep at least 10% of your budget to buffer in case there's last minute surprises. And then shows how much you've spent in percentage, and then the timeline checklist progress, the guest breakdown, and then percentage of your vendor that you booked already and haven't booked, so pending. And then we have some overdue tasks here, task for this month, task for next month. Right, to quickly see what's happening in your wedding planning. So next we have the budget planning. So as you can see, the colored cells you cannot edit. Here in the dashboard you cannot edit anything here, it's all automatic. Same for here, for the yellow cells. The white cells where you can edit. You can edit your buffer fund, up to you on how much buffer you want. And then, but we suggest 10%. So here again you can see some charts, balance and buffer fund, top 5 spending areas here. You can see it here, wedding favor, wedding rings. You can see it below. So it automatically shows the data that you spend the most here. Yeah, budget, the spending here, 201k, 202k I mean. Yes, so paid distribution, how much you paid, the biggest to smallest, and the balance. So here you can type on the white again. You can put them by category depending on you, their budget allocated for them, and how much you paid, and then the difference. So here, this what you put initially for the budget, right? So you set your budget, and then how much you've paid them. So in this expense log here, You can select the category which you inputted earlier. Inputted here actually. Sorry. Anything you input here, it will show up here. So you see florist, wedding planner. It's a category. That's why you input this first. And then you type this up, the name of the vendor, their price, and then amount you paid. The amount you paid, and it shows the status progress. So it's check if it's fully complete, if it's equal, the price and the amount you paid. So it's automatic. Then after all that, it will show here how much you paid and then the difference. Okay. So next we're going to the venue options. So here, these are also automatic, the venue information. And then the white is the website location of the venue that you have in plan. So here are some sample photos. You can change them. Then we have some detailed costs here below, which you also input, so you can compare both venues and in which you want. Okay, so now we have the vendor tab. Here, our dream team, the wedding vendors. So here, these are also automatic, just a summary of all that you inputted below. So the amount and the percentage according to your budget, or according actually to the total of all of them, how much percentage you're spending. So here's your budget, and then how much you're spending. Then if you're overspending, the percentage. So here you can just quickly see from the bar chart how much you're spending, who is the highest. So here you can see, you can also rate your suppliers. So here you input their name, their contact email address, their package number that you got from them, how much you spent, and then you rate them based on your wedding vision, how close they are to what you envision your wedding to be. So this is just to help you choose. So if you've finally chosen somebody, so as you can see, for example, we have 2 5-stars, so you can click that. When you click it, it will highlight it so you can see it faster. So if you have 2, just click them. Yes, up to you. So it's the same for all of it. So here are just some examples. We'll just leave it here, and you can also add some more here in the others for your other suppliers. Next, we move on to the Entourage. Just a list for you to input: the role, full name, contact, attire, and some remarks. So Entourage list, then your sponsors. Then we have the guest list. Here you can see the guest breakdown, the total guest, groom guest, bride guest, or both. Then the invitation summary, if you've sent an invite. Did they RSVP, yes or no? Did you send a physical card? And also days before the wedding, and then some chart for the breakdown. Now here you input the guest names, and then if it's the guest of a bride, the groom, or both, then and their table number, you can input that also. And then here you can input their address if you would like, for if you're gonna send the physical invite. This is where you will input if you've sent it. You've clicked if they'd say yes or no in their RSVP. Okay, so there, and if you've sent their cards or not. There, you see it here. Okay, so next tab we'll go through the contact info. So just put all their contact info here, their name, relationship to you, contact number, and email. And then for seating plan, so here, these are all automatic in the top. Confirmed guest, occupied table, waiting to be seated, groom's guest, and bride's guest. Now, as you can see here, these are the confirmed guests to be seated. You can filter them if it's the groom side, the bride side, or all, or both. So if you put them in a table, they're going to be crossed out already. So for example, we put Mark Thompson here. It's also gonna show he's gonna be crossed out. You can also move him to a different table. He'll be crossed out. You can also remove him. There. So if you add someone from the guest list here, example John, so John, to put them to both, and then table 5, RSVP, yes. So you have to click the RSVP yes, so that he'll show up in the confirmed guests to be seated. If not, they will not show up there. So now we have John here. Okay, so if you click John here, John will be there. He'll get crossed out. Okay, so next let's move on to the gift manager. So there are a couple of tables here. For example, up to 30. And then so for the gift manager here, so if people after the wedding or during the wedding they give you gifts, you put their name here. If it's a cash gift or none, you can see the gift breakdown, the thank you. And then the thank you card is if you've sent a thank you card when they gave you a gift, for all those you've sent. So the amount or gift type, you put it here. Then the total guests, total gifts received, total cash received. Then this to just filter, just to filter your gifts. So for example, the cash. So all. So let's put it to let's put it to 501 to 1K or 1K and above. There. You see them filtered. Their name will show up. Their names will show up here. Now here in the gift manager tab, you can see the total guests, total gifts received, total cash received, and you can see the gift breakdown percentage here. Scroll to the right, you can see the thank you card breakdown. As you can see, the name, the gift category. You can switch or add a new one. And then the amount, the gift type. And then you can put their address if you're planning to send a physical thank you. So here, as you can see, it adjusts. Then here, over to the right, you will see a filter section. So here you can filter your gifts. So for example, you put the gift category that you haven't sent yet. There. So they'll show up. The ones who gave gifts or cash. You can see them here. There. So easy filter. You can even put the minimum or maximum dollars manually. Okay. So next we move on to the calendar tab. Here, this is very important for checking your punctual deadline. So as an example, here in December 2025, you can adjust these. So when do you want the date to start? On a Monday or a Sunday? And then what month and what year, you just type it. So here, example December 2025, we have a few here. You can see it over here. So if it's done, you press check. If it's not, you don't press it and it will reflect over here. So for example, you move to November 2025. There you go, you'd see it. There, down here, 2025. There. So it just adjusts there. Now we move on to the timeline tab. Here you could see the timeline, the general timeline. So you can have an overview like vision and big decisions, 12 plus months ahead of planning, vendors of planning, 6 to 12. So these are just the recommended timeline. You can adjust it as you want. Details and designs, 3 to 6. Final touches, 1 to 3. Then final 2 weeks, and then the wedding day. So it's the same. You can type a task. Then when it's done, you press check. Then you can also put how high a priority they are to your checklist. And then we'll show you the task left and the percentage of the task left. And you can input the deadline you want. Then next, we have the itinerary. So here, this is the itinerary for the day. So your wedding day activities. So here we already place some placeholders here for the day itself. So morning prep, ceremony, reception, after party, and the wind down after the after party. So here you can just manually input what will happen towards the day, the details, the activity, the time, and event phase. Next is we have the packing list. So to plan for your honeymoon, the wedding day, or other things you may want. The same, there's the item, then the priority, and then the person in charge for packing it. It could be you or your groom to be or bride to be. So it is up to you. So there's also a checklist. So as you can see, the bar moves when it's done or not done. There. So easy reference. The next we have the honeymoon tab. So here, let me just show it bigger, 75%. You see the honeymoon budget. You can type here in the white spots as usual. These are coded. So you can hear the category. The category, you can type it here, and then the budget. So the category will actually reflect here, as you can see. So whatever you add here will be reflected. Then you have how much budget is left or left to budget in your initial budget, and then what's left. And then it will compare your budget to your real expense. And then we have the expenses overview here. So it's just going to delegate it so you can see it well. And then we have the booking details you can add for the accommodations, and then travel arrangement. You can also put the details so it's easier to see and look back to. And then we have the itinerary also, or to do for your activity or your trip, your honeymoon. So just for easy reference, so everything is just here. So here you could also see your initial budget, the total expense, and then left to budget here. So basically the initial budget is just from here. It will just add up all your budget, and then this will add up all your expenses. So they'll just get it from here, the transaction tracker. We'll just add it all up. And then it's just gonna show you also per day how much you've spent. And then the left to budget. There. And then here you have the date set up to see your budget calendar. What day it starts. So as you can see, it moves. It adds the 1 day, or shows the budget for the next day. So June 6 will show June 7 there. So as you can see also, it's colored. It's colored because the darker it is, it means the more expenses are being paid there. As you can see, June 27, that's $5,000. June 15, that's $5,000. So it bases it on the total expenses. Yes. So here we also have the currency exchange calculator. So you can change the country and to what country you are from or to, and then you can adjust the price here. So how much it is in domestic, you can adjust it there. Adjust it here. All right. There. That's right. Okay. So next, last but not the least, is the notes. So these just for your general notes while you're planning your wedding. So research notes, important contacts, general notes, and other things you might need. So that's it, and I hope you enjoy your planning your wedding day, and thank you for watching.